Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with me today. My name is Melissa Rockwell-Hopkins, and I'm honored to present my dissertation research to you. The title of my study is Senior Leaders' Perceptions of an Employee Engagement Program in a Medical School Department, a Single Case Study. As we move on to look at the problem statement, it's important to note that employee engagement plays a crucial and important role in workforce stability. Yet many healthcare institutions struggle to implement effective programs. In this study and at the study site, one department with a formal engagement program was shown to have higher productivity and lower attrition than other departments. Key concerns identified in prior research include 60% of healthcare support workers self-reported that they may leave their jobs within 5 years. And this was noted in a study conducted by the Ultimate Medical Academy in 2023. In 2024, Gallup reported that employee disengagement cost organizations trillions in lost productivity globally. In addition, Gallup reported that attrition in healthcare can be financially burdensome, costing up to twice an employee's salary to replace them, but can also be detrimental to productivity, morale, and patient care. This study seeks to address these challenges by exploring how senior leaders perceive engagement programs and their impact on workforce retention. This study was framed using Kahn's 1990 work engagement theory, which defined engagement across 3 key dimensions: physical, cognitive, and emotional. These dimensions were found to be crucial for understanding how leaders support or can hinder engagement within their teams. The literature was broken down into 3 primary groupings: employee engagement program components, employee disengagement in healthcare, and developing employee engagement interventions. Key findings from the literature suggested employees perform better when they feel connected to their work and leadership, that servant and inclusive leadership promote trust and collaboration, and that negative workplace cultures contributed to employee burnout and disengagement. The research also showed that leadership strategies and structured engagement programs can significantly impact retention in a positive way, as well as increase employee morale. This theoretical foundation helps examine how leaders shape engagement efforts and whether they align with best practices and can support employee retention. As we move on to look at the purpose statement, my study explored senior leaders' perceptions of an employee engagement program within an academic medical center. The goal was to understand how engagement initiatives impact workforce stability and the challenges these leaders face, as well as the strategies they believe are the most effective in fostering a supportive environment and improving employee retention. As we move on, there are 3 core research questions in this case study. Each of these questions are aligned with the 3 dimensions of Kahn's 1990 work engagement theory, including physical effort, cognitive effort, and emotional effort. In all 3 questions, the study looks at senior leaders' perceptions of the department's employee engagement program and its impact on those 3 dimensions. These dimensions provide a structured approach to understanding engagement through the lens of senior leadership. The next slide discusses the theoretical framework. Kahn's work engagement theory emphasized that work engagement occurs in 3 dimensions: physical, cognitive, and emotional effort, and is fostered when employees experience meaningfulness, which means feeling valued in their work, safety, which is psychological security to express themselves, and availability, which means having the resources to fully engage. The study evaluates whether leaders recognize these conditions in the engagement program and how they contribute to a positive work environment, and if they perceive them to affect retention and decrease attrition within the workplace. As we move on to discuss research methodology, I used qualitative research, a single case study. It was framed around Kahn's 1990 work engagement theory framework, which focused on employee engagement and the importance of physical, cognitive, and emotional effort in employees' roles in order for them to be engaged and more productive. The research methods I used were questionnaire, semi-structured interviews, and a focus group with senior leaders. The questionnaire allowed me to establish baseline perceptions. The semi-structured interview allowed leaders to discuss their individual experiences, and the focus group encouraged dialogue among the participants. Why did I use a qualitative method? I did this to gain an understanding of the in-depth perspective of the participants. It also allowed for open-ended discussions and questions that assisted with my thematic analysis. The participants, there were 4 senior leaders in the Operations and Facilities Management Department, and they all had 5 or more years of experience and were also experienced in employee engagement. I used purposeful criterion-based sampling with maximum variation to select my participants. The participants met specific criteria and represented a diverse range of perspectives, as well as the diverse service areas within the organization. Lastly, the data analysis and within case analysis process, I use codes, categories, and themes. I coded the responses based on physical, cognitive, and emotional effort and engagement, and then I compared the emerging themes with existing literature. Now I move on to discuss the overview of findings and thematic statements. There are several key areas where the statements are categorized into 3: physical effort, cognitive effort, and emotional effort. Again, all aligned with Kahn's 1990 work engagement theory. In the physical effort, I found that senior leaders perceived engagement programs as essential for motivating their employees through participation and collaborations. Senior leaders also perceived that these programs created opportunities for their employees to engage more actively in the work environment. Additionally, senior leaders perceived that recognition was identified as a crucial factor, and leaders emphasized in their perspectives that when employees feel acknowledged for their contributions, they are more likely to invest physical effort in their roles, which directly impacts productivity and engagement. In cognitive effort, the senior leaders' findings suggest that professional development plays a significant role in fostering cognitive engagement and growth, and the leaders recognize that opportunities for learning and skill development or professional development enhanced employee commitment. Additionally, their perspectives highlighted the connection between empowerment of an employee, collaboration between employees, and cognitive effort. When employees feel empowered and are encouraged to collaborate, they engage more deeply in problem solving and innovation. In emotional effort, the senior leaders perceive the importance of building a culture of trust and psychological safety. They stressed in their perspectives that employees need to feel secure in their work environment to fully engage and contribute. Furthermore, open communication was identified by the senior leaders as a key driver in fostering engagement. Transparent and inclusive communication, which helps employees feel valued and connected to the organization's mission. In summary, the study's findings reinforce the idea that employee engagement is multidimensional. Physical, cognitive, and emotional efforts are all interconnected and essential for a thriving workplace and a well-rounded employee. As we move forward, these insights will help guide strategies for improving workplace culture and engagement. So moving on, let's talk about the connections with the literature review. So again, we look at the 3-dimensional areas of Kahn's 1990 work engagement theory. We look at physical effort, which has 2 themes noted. Theme 1 is perceived motivation through engagement activities. Theme 2 was perception of recognition as a driver for participation. Then as we move to cognitive effort, theme 3 was perceived cognitive engagement and growth. Theme 4 was perceived empowerment and collaboration. And then as we move to emotional effort, theme 5 was perception of the importance of building a culture of trust and psychological safety. Theme 6 perceived the role of open communication in fostering of employee engagement. The study aligned with existing engagement research, and the study found that recognition and leadership support were key drivers of motivation. In addition, the study found that professional development fosters cognitive engagement and long-term commitment, and that psychological safety and trust were crucial for fostering an engaged workplace. These connections supported the idea that leaders play a pivotal role in shaping engagement outcomes, thus have the power to improve employee retention. As we move on, I'd like to discuss key findings, targeted implications, and recommendations. To improve engagement, leaders suggested that structured recognition programs that included awards, peer acknowledgments, and leadership feedback were essential. In addition, they stressed work-life balance initiatives, providing wellness resources and flexible schedules, indicating that leaders need to care about their employees in order for them to thrive. leadership training, which was equipping the employees with professional development that improved tools to support their work as well as encourage ongoing engagement. Benchmarking best practices, so learning from successful institutions and adopting effective engagement models. These recommendations all can enhance workforce satisfaction and improve employee retention. As we move on to talk about the distribution proposal summary, I would like to ensure that my findings can drive meaningful action and recommend distribution methods that include targeted presentations for key leadership groups. These leadership groups include senior department leadership, executive leadership in the operations and facilities management department, program designers, and medical school leaders in other departments, as well as medical school department employees. The targeted presentations would be for the key leadership groups, and executive summaries and reports would be provided to inform strategic planning. I am also proposing workshops and professional forums for continued discussion with the designers, medical school leaders, and medical school department employees. These efforts will help align engagement strategies with long-term institutional goals, which are critical as key takeaways from this study. I'd like to wrap up by thanking you for listening to my defense presentation today. I also wanted to express my gratitude to all of my mentors at Baylor University, but more importantly, Dr. Ryan Shelton, Dr. Brenda Jones-Davis, and Dr. Joshua Smith. I would also like to give Dr. Shelton additional thanks for her coaching, advice, and the time that she invested into my growth. The subsequent 4 pages are selected references, which are on slides 13 through 16. They support the study and reflect foundational research on employee engagement, leadership, and workplace motivation that were necessary for the study. These sources provided academic grounding for my findings and recommendations.